Hello, sixth grade Bobcats. Mr. Flato here. Welcome back to what I hope will be a great week for each and every one of you at the Helena Middle School. On today's Bob lesson, brand new Bob lesson for you today, I'm going to put together an idea that I've been working on for, I don't know, the last several years, kind of how my brain works, taking what happens in real life, what happens in real life at HMS, what happens in real life with sixth graders, seventh graders, eighth graders, combining it with a metaphor that hopefully makes sense for each and every one of you so that you can kind of get a better understanding of maybe the phase you're at in life or the level you're at in life and some of the challenges and struggles that go along with it. Um, One of the things I've started to observe is the same thing that happens every year, the last 11 years, it feels like doing this job, but especially the last 7 being at HMS. We have kids that come in from usually one of 5 feeder elementary schools, whether that's Bryant, Warren, Jefferson, Central, Smith. We have kids that come in from East Helena, kids that come in from out of town, kids that come in that have been homeschooled. And we have all these different groups of kids that we now have and put together as one big group. And a couple of the ideas I think I'm going to work on, I'm going to maybe do a 2-part series here, is I always observed the same thing. For the most part, kids kind of stay to their elementary cliques of their elementary friendship groups for much of about the first half of the year until they start to recognize and meet new kids and start to recognize that, hey, I have common interests, values in common with some other kids, and then we start exploring other friendships. And really, what friendship is a process that is constantly being refined and constantly evolving as time goes on. And that process really in sixth grade, because of the mixture of a lot of groups of new kids, that process is very prevalent in sixth grade. And today I'm going to talk about putting together a puzzle and trying to find the right puzzle pieces that fit. And those are metaphors for friendships. And while observing that, at the end of the day, I think everybody wants a handful of really close, good friends that fit. And sometimes, sometimes you may think a puzzle piece fits and it doesn't, and then how do we deal with that? So hope you guys like this Bob lesson. Hope you guys make it a great week. All right, here I am working on a digital puzzle because it was so much easier than doing a physical puzzle and trying to record it. And as you can see, I'm about halfway done with this puzzle, and I want you all to focus on a couple pieces I've got right here. And let's pretend that these pieces represent maybe students. Maybe this is Johnny and this is Mikey, and I'm just making those names up. And if on first thought, on first glance, on first look, it looks like these two pieces might fit together. You've got kind of a peninsula piece that looks like it's going to fit in right here. They both have the bottom part together. You got two paws. There's dogs in this puzzle. You got two paws that look like are coming together. And in real life, it might feel like this is a good friendship fit. And maybe for a while, it is a good friendship fit. We have common interests, we have some common values, we've got some things in common. But over time, you start to recognize this feels like it's a fit, but it really isn't quite a fit after all. And for a lot of sixth grade students, that's a really difficult concept to maybe understand or to maybe more than anything accept, because friendships are so important. Um, they're so needed in our life that um, that we want them to work, and it's really hard sometimes when they don't work and they fall apart. But this does not mean that this person is not worthy of friendship. It does not mean that this person is not worthy of friendship. It just means that their right fit is going to be with other puzzle pieces somewhere here on the board if we just keep working. All right, this puzzle is continuing to come together, and I want to talk about this piece right here, this corner piece. This corner piece is going to fit in with this piece right here, and I'm thinking it's going to fit in with this piece right here. One of the things that's different about this corner piece from some of the other pieces is this corner piece only fits in with the piece directly above it and the piece directly to its left. Not all people are going to have the same amount of close friendships. Some of us like to have lots of friendships and spread our effort and energy and friendships amongst many people. Some of us like to keep a smaller circle and have one or two close, very close friendships where we keep our inner circle a little bit smaller. This piece is no different than any of these other pieces, with the exception that it only has a couple fits. That doesn't mean this piece is any more valued or worthy of friendship than any of these other pieces. It just means that it only has a couple other fits, and there's many different students that will find that they have different fits of friendships or number of friendships at that. All right, my puzzle is almost complete. I've got one final piece, and I had to wait because once it locks in, I can't take it off on this digital version. But let's talk about this last piece, and let's talk about how this last piece represents each and every one of you. As you can see from this piece, it fits in right there, and I don't want to put in quite yet. And if you look, this piece and the representation or the metaphor I'm trying to make today is that this piece has a fit right here with this other puzzle piece. This piece has a fit right here, to the right, and to the left. If you look at how it fits, it just works in that spot. And ultimately, that's the goal of where we're trying to get with our friendships. We're trying to find the right friendships with the right fits, that have the same interests, have the same values, have the same things in common, have good influences on us, etc. And sometimes life can be, and as you all know, putting together puzzles, if you've put puzzles together, it is a trial and error process. And a lot of times it feels like, okay, this looks like it lines up and it's going to fit in this spot. And then you go to do it and it kind of fits, but then you have to be honest with yourself. I don't think this is the right spot, even though the coloring is correct, even though the pieces fit together, this isn't quite the right spot. Now, one other metaphor I want to make as well is this piece fits in right here. And let's pretend that this person is friends with this person. Well, another good thing to recognize is this person has different fits and different friends that maybe this person doesn't fit in with. And that's another theme that I see a lot of times in middle school is person A and person B might be friends with one another, but person A might not get along with puzzle piece C, and puzzle piece B and C fit together, and puzzle piece A and C don't fit together. And what do we do there? We're not always going to get along and be friends with everybody. We're not going to be a fit with everybody, but we do need to respect that we're going to fit together with some puzzle pieces. And the puzzle pieces we fit together with are the people we have friends with, may have friends that we have to respect that they're going to have other friends and they're going to have other fits as well. So I hope you guys like this Bob lesson. I hope you guys got something out of it. And look at this. And right here, showing the blanket together. All right, in conclusion, what are some of the takeaways that I hope I was able to share with you all today from finding the right fit? Friendships can be somewhat of a trial and error process of trying to find the right fit. And I see a lot of that going on right now in the sixth grade, and that process will definitely continue into seventh grade, eighth grade, and really, frankly, um, through the rest of your life into adulthood. It kind of settles down in adulthood as you get a better understanding of who you are and what you're about. It's important to be honest with yourself. Speaking of who you are and what you're about, it's important to be honest with yourself whether a certain puzzle piece is really the right fit or not. Does that puzzle piece make your life better? Does it lift you up? Does it encourage you? Does it influence you in the positive direction? So on and so forth. Sometimes that fit works for a little while, but over time, as people slowly evolve and grow, you may find that certain pieces around you don't fit anymore. If this was a perfect analogy or a perfect metaphor, we would see that those puzzle pieces would slowly change. They would get bigger, they would get smaller, they would change their direction if it was totally a realistic simulation. And that's really what happens with friendships over time. We don't all have the same amount of fits, and that's totally normal. we all are going to have a different amount of fits in life. We're all different people. And finally, I want you all to know you are all worthy of authentic, perfect fitting friendships. It just takes time and a trial and error process. All right, let's get to this week's Jelly Bean Question of the Week winners. We got Emily Hamlin, Luther Hunthausen, Aurora Montgomery, Jack Hedrick, and Xander. Do you have a last name? We got 2 Xanders in the school. I'm not sure which one it is. What 5-letter word reads the same if it's only the first letter versus all 5, and that would be Q? All right, this week's Jelly Bean Question of the Week. Let's mix a little math and English today, shall we? I am an odd number. Take away 1 letter in my name, and I become even. What number am I? If you think you know, submit your answer to the Bob box. Get that thing turned in by Thursday of this week, and then tune in after break to see if you're a winner. All right, Bobcats, let's make it a great last week of 2022. Whether there's enough food in your home over Christmas break, please come down to the counseling center, fill out one of these things, put it in the manila envelope, or message myself or Miss Gluckert directly on Teams, and we'll get you on that list, and then we will distribute those Wednesday and Thursday in advance.